putting what one has learned into practice. That is the second part. And gaining what one has practiced, the benefit of the practice. Lastly, application of one's gains in the practice. Thus, the one who has fulfilled these 4 stages is known as the Dhamma practitioner. And Dhamma only, and such persons are only sustained by the Dhamma. Dhamma sustains only such practitioners, such persons, such individuals. Not to those who do not practice the Dhamma. Not to those who just read books. Not to those who just learn from discussions or discourses. Not to those who reflect upon the Dhamma or teachings by themselves. So this is the Dhamma. This is the kind of Dhamma which is referred to in the Dhammam Saranam Gacchami. I take refuge in the Buddha's teachings. If on the other hand, one does not study or learn, and even if one learns, even if one knows, one does not practice, and one does not make use of it, apply it, then however much you may say or recite this phrase of Dhammam Charanam Gacchami 100 times, you may recite 100 times, 1,000 times, or 10,000 times, you will not comprehend the quality of the Dhamma as refuge.
အဲ့ဒါဇောရင်တတိရှိတဲ့ဓမ္မကိုဖြစ်အောင်ကျင့်ဆောင်ရမှာအပိုက်ရှိပါတယ်မိမိကိုသိက္ခာကြရအောင်ဘုလို့စိတ္တသုံးပါးလုံးမြင်ရအောင်မိုင်မဲလို့ဖြစ်ရအောင်ကိုယ်ကိုယ်ကိုနဲ့ပြီးတော့ကျင့်ဆောင်ရအပိုက်ရှိပါတယ်ပြီးတော့ကိုယ်အတွက်နဲ့တစ်ခါသားပုဂ္ဂိုလ်မထိခဲ့ရအောင်ကိုယ်နဲ့နှုတ်နဲ့စိတ်နဲ့စိတ်ထားနဲ့ဒီရပေါ်မှာမမဲနေရအောင်ကျင့်နာတနာရဲ့နေနဲ့ကာကွယ်ဆောက်ရှောက်မှုရှိတယ်အတိုင်းရှိတယ်ကိုယ်ကပုံပြပန်းနဲ့မဖြစ်စေခြင်းလို့ခုနဓမ္မတွေကိုဆောင်ခြင်းဖြစ်ဖို့ပါလေဟုတ်လားစိတ်ကြည်တန်ခြင်းယုံကြည်ရိုင်းတိုင်းကိုပြင်ပြီးတော့ဉာဏ်သိမှုသိတဲ့ကြရဖြစ်လာတယ်သူတစ်ပါးလည်းပဲထိခိုက်အောင်လုပ်ရတယ်မရောက်တော့ပါဘူးတစ်ခါတခါမှကျင်နာသနာစိတ်ရှိနေတော့သူတစ်ပါးမထိခိုက်ရအောင်ခုနဓမ္မကိုကျင့်သုံးခြင်းအားဖြင့်သူတစ်ပါးလည်းကိုယ်ကြွယ်နဲ့ထိခိုက်ခြင်းနဲ့လာပြီးကိုယ်ချင်းချင်းမဖြစ်ဘူးဆောက်ရှောက်ပြီးတာဆောက်ရှောက်လိုက်တာနဲ့ကိုယ်ကိုလည်းပဲဒီမှာဆောက်ရှောက်ပြီးတာဖြစ်သွားတယ်ဒီဓမ္မကကိုယ်အတွက်အကျိုးရှိတယ်မဟုတ်ဘူးသူများဆိုလည်းအကျိုးရှိပါတယ်အချက်ကိုချက်ပြတာလည်းကောင်းပါတယ်ဒါလည်းကိုယ်ဒီတရားတွေသိနေလို့ရှိရင်ကိုယ်ကလည်းပဲတန်ရှင်းဘုလို့စိတ်အပြည့်အဝနေနေနေနေပြီးပြင်းပြီးတော့ဒီရတဲ့မှုနှစ်သက်စရာကြီးဖြစ်ဒီဘဝလေးသိတာသူတစ်ပါးလည်းပဲမထိခိုက်ခါခါမှလည်းသူတစ်ပါးကိုကျင်လာတဲ့အနေနဲ့မထိခိုက်ရအောင်ကာဝယ်ဆောက်ရှောက်ပြီးခြင်းအားဖြင့်ကိုယ်ကိုလည်းပဲမြင်ရအောင်ဆောက်ရှောက်ပြီးတော့ဘုရားကောင်းရဲ့အကျင့်ဆောက်ရှောက်ပြီးတော့ဖြစ်ပါတယ်ဒီချက်ကိုလည်းချက်ပြအဲ့ဒါကောင်းတဲ့ဓမ္မတွေပါ
In order to be effective in the practice of the Dhamma, of the quality just mentioned, there are 2 parts. One is restraint of oneself, one's behaviors, to purify and cultivate one's physical and verbal behaviors. One practices the restraint of one's own behaviors, having consideration for one's own dignity. If you do that, others will not be affected because of you. Others will not suffer because of your fault. In another case, The second part, with compassionate feeling, you are protecting others. Practice the restraint of behavior towards others. If you do that, you will become clean and pure, because you are not affecting others. In this way, if you do that with compassionate feeling, with an altruistic attitude, not to let others suffer, you will be protecting yourself. In either way, you are doing for the good of both. At times, you may have compassionate feeling towards others, and you are practicing the Dharma. Thus, you are not affecting others. In this way, you protect yourself. So you are not affecting yourself, you are not defiling yourself. At the same time, you are not harming others. Thus, you are accomplishing two things at the same time. In this way, your life will become beautiful, properly shaped. At the same time, others also will feel peace and happy, and they will not be affected because of you.
ဒီဓမ္မအသိပေါ်တော့ပါပြီဓမ္မလမ်းကြောင်းနဲ့ကျင့်သုံးတဲ့ပုဂ္ဂိုလ်ကျင့်သုံးတော့စေတမြင့်တယ်ပါလေဆိုဒီဘဝမှာအနည်းဆုံးတစ်မက်တစ်ခုရအောင်ကျင့်သုံးလို့ရှိမိမိကျင့်သုံးရတဲ့တရားကဓမ္မကကျင့်သုံးတဲ့တတိယရပြည့်စုံရှိလာတော့ဒီကျင့်သုံးတဲ့ပုဂ္ဂိုလ်ကိုချမ်းသာကြီးပွားမှုကင်းမဲ့တဲ့ဘဝကြီးတွေလည်းရောက်ရအောင်အောက်တမ်းကြရအောင်သမာဓိပါပြီဒီတော့ကိုယ်လာတဲ့ဒုက္ခကြီးတာချီလေးကြီးဆိုတာလည်းမဖြစ်ရအောင်သမာဓိပါပြီအဲ့ဒါဓမ္မဆိုတာပါလေဓမ္မရဲ့ဆွေတတ်ကြည့်ဆိုတာပါလေဆိုတော့ဟုတ်လားဆိုတော့ဒီကိုယ်ရဲ့အဖြစ်ကိုယ်ရဲ့ဖြစ်ပြီးတော့
Now we have revealed the quality of the Dhamma. As much as you practice the Dhamma, you are bound to be uplifted, you are bound to be sustained. And if you can practice the Dhamma fully, to realize the path and fruition knowledge of the noble ones in this very life, Dhamma will have uplifted you completely, satisfactorily. Thus you will not fall into the woeful states of loss, and you will not suffer the universal sufferings of old age, disease and death for a long time in the innumerable endless round of existences. So in this way, Java has explained to you what is Dhamma and the quality of the Dhamma.
Okay. Hey, Java, keep on getting I will live the man and do that over the needy of the university of Normally,
so as Dhamma lovers, you know the method of practicing the Dhamma, and let us just try for 5 minutes. So please be ready. You can sit as you convenient for you, comfortably. Keep your upper body erect and keep your hands in a relaxed way. The practice of calming the mind depends on the calming of the body, so your body must be still to calm your mind. While during the practice, your eyes are no use, so just close your eyes. Pay attention to the abdomen. There will be movement of the abdomen rising and falling. As you observe the rising of the abdomen, just follow mentally the rising of the abdomen from beginning to the end.
Saga does your community, so you know.
When falling takes place, after rising, you follow this falling from the beginning to end and label it mentally. You need effort to direct your mind towards the rising and falling phenomena. You need to pay attention, focus the rising and falling of the abdomen with effort. If you make effort in focusing, then there will be this mindfulness that takes as in terms of rising and falling. The naughty mind will fall calm and collected on the rising and falling movements. There's a mental factor. There's an aiming. You have to aim or focus your attention so that it becomes concurrent with the rising and falling. If you aim in this manner and focus your attention to the rising and falling, you will be able to observe distinctly the rising and falling phenomena. While you are focusing your attention to the rising and falling, your mind may wander about here and there, thinking, imagining, dreaming, fantasizing, and so on. Please note them as they arise, as thinking, or fantasizing, or imagining, and so on. They may also arise in the body, unbearable feelings or sensations, such as stiffness, tiredness, and so on. They have to be noted as they arise. And if these such things do not arise in you, you can go back to the observation of rising and falling as a basic or fundamental or preliminary object.
ဒါလည်းမဟုတ်တဲ့တော်လေးပုံကြကျောင်းရတဲ့ပြီးတော့ဒီရှုခွင့်အာယုံလေးကိုဆဲဆဲပြမှတ်မိတယ်တတိတိဖြစ်တယ်ဒါသမာဓိလည်းပြီးခေါ်တယ်အဲ့ဒီကျောင်းရတဲ့တတိလေးကမိမိရဲ့စိတ်ရှင်အညစ်အကြေးတွေငိုရအောင်ဆိုတော့ကာကွယ်ဆောက်ရှောက်ပြရတယ်ဆွေးနွေးဆိုရှိရအောင်လို့စိတ်ကလေးကတခဏတခဏအဆက်ဆက်ကြသွားတယ်အဲ့ဒါခဏကသမာဓိခေါ်တယ်သမာဓိနဲ့ကျင်းလို့ဆိုရတယ်ဒီဖြစ်နေတဲ့ခါမိမိရဲ့စိတ်ကလေးဟာဗျာမရာကိုပြည့်ရှိတော့ဘူးစွန့်စွန့်စီငြိမ်ငြိမ်တက်တက်ဖြစ်နေတာအဲ့ဒီတရားသုံးပါးပြည့်စုံတဲ့ခိုက်တံမှာစဉ်းစားကြည့်စမ်းစိတ်ထဲမှာကျူးလွန်တဲ့ဘောဒီပိုင်းပေါ်လို့သဘာဝပေါ်တဲ့ခြင်းနဲ့စိတ်ထဲမှာပေါ်ကိုယ်နဲ့စိတ်ထဲမှာပေါ်ဒီစားစားဟူကျူးလွန်တဲ့စိတ်ထဲမှာပေါ်နေနေကောက်ရှိတဲ့စိတ်ထဲမှာပေါ်ပြောရင်ပိုင်းနေတဲ့စိတ်ထဲမှာပေါ်တပည့်နေ့မှာဆိုရင်စက္ကန့်ပေါင်း60တစ်စက္ကန့်တစ်ချိန်ကျနဲ့ကြောက်လို့ရှိရင်အချိန်ပေါင်း60စိတ်ထဲမှာအရင်ကြီးပေါ်လာညီတဲ့အောင်ပြုလုပ်ပြီးတဲ့ဒီသမာဓိဌာနကလည်းငင်းလို့ပြောလိုက်တာအဲ့ဒီလိုပြည့်စုံတဲ့ပုဂ္ဂိုလ်ကိုစိတ်မမြင့်ပါရအောင်အဲ့ဒီသမာဓိဌာနကကာကွယ်ဆောက်ရှောက်ထားတယ်စိတ်ထားစိတ်ဓာတ်အောက်တန်းကြရအောင်လို့ပြောပြမှတာအဲ့ဒါဓမ္မသမာဓိဓမ္မအဲဒီမှာစိတ်နဲ့ချိန်ပြီးတယ်တက်တယ်ပြီးတယ်ကြည့်ပြီးတာအဲ့ဒီအာယုကိုရွေစုပြီးတဲ့စိတ်ဟာတခြားဘာချောတော့လို့ပြီးတော့ကာမဝိတ္တိရှိဇာဝဝိတ္တိရှိဝိသဝိတ္တိရှိကြံကျိုးပြီးဆိုတာရှိဒီလိုကြည့်ပါတန်ဖိုးပါရှိနောက်ချိန်သာတက်လာပါများရင်ဘဝမှာမြည်သိတာဒီမှာတော့ကြောင်းကြည့်တဲ့တော့သိတာအခုသိပြီးတော့ဘုရားအလုံးဘူးဒီလည်းမကြည့်ပါဘူးနောက်သိတာအဲဒီမှာသိတက်လာရင်သိတာအဲ့ဒါပညာမဖြစ်ပါဘူးခုနကသမာဓိပဲခေါ်တယ်သမာဓိဓမ္မကိုခေါ်တယ်အခုကပညာနဲ့ပညာခန္ဓာပညာနဲ့ခေါ်တယ်သူတို့ဖြစ်သွားတဲ့အခါကျပြိတ္တာမျိုးပါဖြစ်သွားတယ်ဒါရှုတိုင်းမှာတင့်တယ်လို့မိတ်ဆွေ၅ပါးပါပါနေပါတယ်သောသောဘက်ကစောင့်ကြည့်လိုက်တဲ့၅ပါးသီလဟာမကျိုးဘူးဆိုလို့ရှိရင်ဒီဓမ္မကြီးဆောက်ထားပြီးခေါ်ရတယ်ဆောက်ထားတဲ့စိတ်ဓာတ်မှာလက်တွေ့တန်ဖိုးကိုယ်ဝင်စားတာရှိတယ်လိမ်မှုခန္ဓာဒီနှုတ်နဲ့ပတ်သက်တဲ့အားကြီးလက်ပြီးကြည့်လို့လည်းဘာမှမရှိဘူး။ကိုယ်လုံးနေတယ်။အဲဒါကိုယ်လုံးမှုရဲ့စိတ်ကျဲကာယကံရောက်စီအောင်ပြုလို့လည်းပြုလို့လည်းဒီထိုက်တာမှနေဟောဒီကတည်းကသူ့ကိုစောက်ရှောက်တဲ့ပုဂ္ဂိုလ်ကိုအလုံးအောက်တန်းကြတဲ့ညုံကြီးရိုင်းဆိုင်တဲ့အလုံးကျမ်းသားတဲ့စစ်စုပ်ဖွယ်ရာလူသားတွေအောက်တန်းကြပြီးတဲ့ကျေလို့တာအဲ့ဒါဒီကတော့ဒီနည်းနဲ့ပဲရှိတဲ့ဒီတိုင်းမှာဒီလာရောသမားရောပညာရောသုံးမျိုးလုံးပါပါတယ်အခုဒီဓမ္မဒီဓမ္မသင်တဲ့ဒီဒီနေတာဒီတော့လည်းကြည့်ကြပါလိမ့်မယ်လက်တွေ့ကြည့်ဒါလည်းတရားဆောင်တယ်ကြည့်လို့ကိုယ်မှာဒီဓမ္မကြီးပညာအကျင့်တရားကြီးကျင့်လို့ရတယ်ဒါလည်းဒီလားဆောင်တရားဆောင်နောက်အရိယာမဲ့ဖြစ်ဖြစ်သွားတဲ့အခါမှာပိုင်နိုင်တဲ့ဒီတကယ်ချမ်းသာကိုသုံးဆောင်ခံနိုင်တဲ့အပိုင်းတွေပါအဲဒီအပိုင်းကြီးရောဒီမှာလည်းဆက်လက်ပြီးတော့ရှင်းလို့ရှိရတယ်သို့တော့အချိန်ယူပြီးတော့ဇောက်ချပြီးတော့စိတ်ဆက်ဆံရေးဒီရှိမှရနိုင်တယ်ဆိုတာတော့သိနေမှာသာလို့ပြောရတယ်ရှင်းလို့လည်းရပါ
During the 5 minutes practice of meditation, you are said not to possess any obsessive defilements. You are free from obsessive defilements. You are not mentally committing any misconduct, such as killing, stealing, You are not thinking about sexual misconduct. You are not thinking of lying, and so on. Thus, in 1 minute there are 60 seconds. At the rate of 1 second per freedom, you have 60 times freedom. Your mind is free from obsessive defilements. So, in this way, the Samadhi Dhamma, the concentration Dhamma, is said to have uplifted the Samadhi Dhamma practitioner. Thus, this is also Dhamma. As the noting mind is concurrent with the object, arising object, the mind will not overshoot, or the mind will not go anywhere else. Thus, there will be no thoughts of no thoughts of sensual pleasures, kama videka, no thoughts of vyapara videka, that is, no thoughts of harming others, ill will, and no thoughts of vihimsa videka, harming others, no thoughts of harm to others, no thoughts of sensual pleasures, no thoughts of ill will to others, no thoughts of harming others. Thus, when you practice this, all these unwholesome thoughts, 3 kinds of unwholesome thoughts, will not come to you. You will be free of these 3 unwholesome thoughts. Now, the object, the noting mind, our consciousness is concurrent with the object. As much as it is concurrent, you are bound to cultivate knowledge. Of course, we cannot say that you have cultivated knowledge at once, within these 5 minutes, or at once, at this time. But in due course, with the maturity of the practice, as the noting mind is concurrent with the object in the practice, you are bound to cultivate knowledge or wisdom. This is Penya Dhamma. With which you are eradicating the latent or dormant forms of kilesas on a part-time basis. Thus, every time you practice this mindfulness, noting, we call it, the 5 limbs or 5 paths are said to be accomplished. Now, since you have sustained the 5 ethical precepts, you are said to be upholding the 3 Sila Dhammas. You are not committing any unwholesome deeds, killing, stealing, sexual misconduct, and so on. Thus, you are safe. You are said to be safe. Your physical and verbal behaviors are clean. Your kilesas are subdued. Afflictive emotions or defilements are subdued. Thus, with the practice of Sila Dhamma, you are said to have eradicated or overcome the gross forms of kilesas. In this way, you are said to be practicing within the 5 minutes the 3 trainings of morality, concentration, and wisdom. This is the method in brief. You just practice it. You are bound to, if you practice this, this is the Dhamma that you practice, and you are practicing the Dhamma practitioner, and if you gain the result of the practice, also this is Dhamma practitioner, and then you come to possess what you have gained. This is also Dhamma practitioner. So if you continue to practice, you are bound to become the Dhamma practitioner. But of course, you have to take time to cultivate your practice to reach maturity.
ဒီလိုခုချိန်နဲ့ငယ်အတွင်းမှာနမူနာပေါ့
Within a short time, you have sampled this practice of 3 trainings, namely Sila, Samadhi, Panya, morality, concentration, and wisdom. Thus, this practice of the correct method is the Dhamma. You become a Dhamma practitioner or Dhamma bearer. And the practice within the 5 minutes, you have become also the Dhamma bearer, Dhamma practitioner. And by practicing the 3 trainings, also you have become the Dhamma bearer, Dhamma practitioner. And when you are able to cultivate this practice and reach maturity in the practice of insight meditation, you are bound to see the ultimate peace of Nibbana. and then you'll be able to experience this ultimate peace. That also is Dhamma Bera. Whoever wishes to realize the genuine peace would have to understand the real meaning of the Dhamma and put this into practice. Then you will come to understand what is meant by Dhamma as refuge. And if you are, it will become meaningful. Whenever you recite this refuge taking in Buddha Dhamma Sangha, this will become meaningful. The Buddham, Dhammam, not only Dhammam Saranam Gacchami, Buddham Saranam Gacchami, taking refuge in the Buddha, Sangham Saranam Gacchami, refuge taking in Sangha also will become, all of these three things will become meaningful, and you will come to understand the nature of the real refuge of the three gems. So with your experiential knowledge, not from concept, but from experience, thus you will never fall away from the real Dhamma. So may you all be able to reach this stage. That's all for this evening. So we need to sustain the practice, interest in Vipassana practice. When here in Singapore there is one no-purpose center, like in KT and so on. Secondly, no teacher. So from group sitting, group discussion will help in this or not. Please advise. The ma viparana, ya salat atopura, Singapore ma, the center yellow channel show, ya time, net cia show. I don't know the soup of the time and soup is swimming. Yeah, how to pin a lamp, and then the discussion based on truth or correctly, rightly, you will succeed.
Melo, the time can not share Anita, you
However, it will not be so effective as you go to the proper meditation center and practice in accordance with the instructions of the teacher, qualified teacher. Such as how can one practice on one's own after the retreat and so on? How can one practice on one's own? So just answered simply as far as you can practice, so long as you know the correct method. However, you can just take this analogy, consider this analogy. When you're traveling on a journey, you look at a map, you refer to a map, or you refer to a guide, or you have a guide, a good, able guide. Which one will be more effective? Referring to a map and travel about, or traveling with a guide, an able or qualified guide? It's the journey that you have never been, a new journey.
Yeah. The chain may near me, Sam of our very utterly find yes, so but the function of the မြဲသွားမယ်ဆက်မဲ့တရားတွေကြားဖို့ပဲဒီမှာအခြေအနေရှိပါတယ်ဆိုရင်လည်းရှိပါတယ်ဆိုတာအဲ့ဒီပုဂ္ဂိုလ်များကြောင့်မှဆရာရဲ့အတိတ်တိုက်တွန်းမှုတွေမရဘူးဆိုရင်တော့အဲ့လိုတရားတွေကြားရပါ
Only stage at which one can practice anytime, anywhere is after you have attained the first part, the first knowledge, the Sotapanna. Then you become this, you are able to, you have enough strength and enough, you become a permanent practitioner. You can practice on your own and it is more secure. However, if even at this stage, if one does not get the proper exhortation or guidance from a teacher, the progress to higher knowledges will not be will be slow and not progress fast enough.
Any other thing you want to add?
Sometimes there is a lot of gas accumulating inside the stomach. The gas often comes out through the throat, causing uneasiness. What shall I do? The second question is sometimes rising and falling becomes finer and finer until there is hardly any movement. Then comes feeling of fear that the breathing has stopped. What shall I do? Brahma Legunga to Dhyana Paitama Lady Prabha feel uneasy, you have to note as such uneasy, feeling uneasy. Dudhiya Chaka Kadiyama Honabina Madakama who are Honabina Material taking with us. I know Tashina Yabamla to talk about it. No need to fear.
You don't have a generally take care of the new young. You do a dinner liver in Shilana. Tashi take with her. Tashi take with her. She was having a son in a home to woman to with her. He had you. You go, are you deducting that? Say no, a time out of the other. Say no need to be a fire. Never to outside of it. Who moves the child. Who are in Kalana, I will do. Oh, my genie, I have been hit on the chin. 2 years.
At times, in the course of the practice, you reach certain kind of maturity, and your breathing may slow down, thus also slowing down the rising and falling until it becomes almost unnoticeable. In such cases, you have to boost up your energy and your drive. Just like when you want to look at something at a distance, you have to make more effort to observe that thing at a distance. Is that all right? If not clear, you're clear. Okay. Yes?
When we are doing mental noting, would it bother verbalization? When you do mental noting, it's just like as you are saying something. So can we reduce that to just awareness of the stomach?
Ultimate objective of the practice is to be aware of what's going on in your mind and body. However, in the beginning, as for beginners, it's not enough or sufficient to just be aware. One, it is important to label, like children when they start going to school, they have to pronounce the words or letters, whatever it may be, or lessons and not just mentally read the words or letters or sentences. So labeling is necessary in the beginners in order to distinguish between the phenomena, rising phenomena, to distinguish the rising phenomena, what they are and how they behave and so on. Come to school, have to label or pronounce them, isn't it? And they are quite useful. Are they not useful or not? Useful.
Now, why that you really are control to the Papa? Don't get out of the
as they progress, as they become skilled, they can read books without pronouncing. But still, there may be times when one has to label them mentally pronounce or mentally label the words and so on. In the text are also given the methods of practice to label in the beginning, mentally label mentally, and as one progresses and reaches maturity in the practice, and it becomes not so necessary. At this stage, even if you want to label, you will not have enough time to label it, and the labeling will automatically disappear.
Objective of this practice through sila, morality, and samadhi, anya arise. And eventually that is we need to seeing things as it is. Now what actually is then the goal when we used to say that arrive at nirvana? So what is the relationship between this so-called sati and nirvana? Maybe Theodore would like to expound on it. Maybe let us know what actually is this experience of nirvana.
ဖြစ်တဲ့တိုင်းကြည့်ပါလို့ပြောပါတယ်အဲ့တတိဖြစ်ဖို့ Nibbana means the extinction of suffering. Now the extinction of suffering means the sufferings are caused by affective emotions, and affective emotions cause suffering when they arise, at the time of arising, and also they will be cause for suffering in the future after they have arisen. So this Nibbana is the extinction of suffering or affective emotions to the point of no return. Now in order to, this is the great extinction. Now to reach this great extinction, you must first create small extinction. This small extinction is realized by the practice of Sila Samadhi Panya, morality, concentration and wisdom. And as you build up this small extinction gradually, you are practicing it. As the saying goes, practice makes perfect. You make a habit of it. Then these small things, small extinctions will accumulate as in the course of the practice, reaching maturity to the great extinction.
And
in a sense, to reach full-time peace, you have to build up this part-time peace. As a person has some sickness, fever, of course the fever is due to certain microorganisms in your body or something like that. And of course the objective is to eradicate these microorganisms which are the cause of fever. Now before you can eradicate this fever totally, you've got to subdue this fever gradually by cooling down with ice bags or so on and so on, and then taking injections or taking oral doses of medicines and so on in order to arrive at this total eradication. So this is necessary, isn't it?
So normally this demonic experience.
It is important, isn't it? It is important to first subdue, first reduce the temperature, isn't it, by these means, isn't it?
Yes.
Okay. Yes?
Sorry, yeah. So normally this experience, this demonic experience, being experienced just before you enter the stream, or normally after you enter the stream?
You mean what?
I mean, this demonic experience. There will be